You have watched the original film. You have not watched the original film. I don't know which category you belong to, but I guess it shouldn't matter if you truly want to go to the theater and watch a film. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. And I watched the very talked about Hindi film Bhola, which is directed by Ajay Devgan and also stars him in the titular role. One of the biggest talking points before the release of this movie was how different or similar it will be to its original version, which is the Tamil film Kaiti. The teaser, especially the second one of this film, had somewhat gotten me excited because it seemed, looking at the teaser and then eventually the trailer, that the world building is completely different even if the story is the same. But since Kaiti, directed by Lokesh Kanagaraj, is a very loved film by a lot of critics as well as the audience, the comparison was inevitable. And I think Ajay Devgan pretty much knew that when he took up this project. But in this video, I will be talking about Bhola as an independent entity and not really compare it to Kaiti. The elephant in the room will be addressed by the end of this video. But before that, let's talk about the things which I liked and did not like in this film. Number one, the action of the film. This was genuinely a part of the film that I was looking forward to. After watching the teasers and the trailer, we knew that action is going to be a very big part of this film, and especially it is going to be pretty larger than life, especially the set piece with all the bikes. But this one aspect was the most disappointing part of the film, and not because it was, well, physics defined. See, that is something which I am used to. I went into the film knowing that yes, there would be unrealistic action scenes, which is okay. I'm used to all of this in Masi cinema, but if you are going to show something very larger than life, then that has to be executed properly. Here the action relies more on the VFX than the stunts. Out of all the action set pieces, the very first one where Tabu is actually chasing the bad guys, that is the one which is the best shot as per me. The camera work, the music, the stunt, all of it comes together really well, and you get really excited because that is the opening sequence of the film. So I thought to myself, okay fine, so we are gonna get really nice, well choreographed action set pieces, but then it was just a downhill from that point. That's why I said I do not mind larger than life, a tad bit unrealistic action sequences in a Masi film, but if the execution is not done well, and if I can see that it's looking extremely unrealistic because of the VFX, it just takes your attention out of the movie, and you are not going to get goosebumps or have any whistle-worthy moment which those scenes are supposed to invoke. Number two, the BGM. I was once again very much looking forward to listening to the score of this film because it sounded good when I had watched the teaser and the trailer, and I had, faith in Ravi Basroor, but this one just disappointed me. I feel as an audience, I probably expected a lot more from Ravi Basroor, but he is sort of rehashing his style again, and now it's getting very generic. Third, the screenplay. The dialogues are not memorable. I'm not saying the dialogues are cringe or anything, no, but they are just about okay. And when you are going in a commercial cinema, which is extremely action-packed, where you have all those tropes of hero key entries, slow motion action sequences, you expect the dialogues to not just be delivered dramatically, but they need to be memorable. This movie does not really have that punchline that one can recall when you exit the theater. Something like what Yash had when he said in KGF 2, violence, like that. That's a very memorable dialogue. All those really cool punchliners which you see in Salman Khan films. I had kind of hoped for something like that personally, but it wasn't there. Fourth thing, the item song was absolutely unnecessary. I don't know why they put it. They could have introduced the villain in a much better and a much more impactful way. The very first thing, which is a technical thing that I liked, is the color grading of this movie. But this color grading actually gets overshadowed because of bad VFX. For a layman like me also, I could understand and differentiate between what was real and what was computer generated. But whoever is the colorist of the film, I really appreciate that person because they did a good job. Second thing I liked are the performances. The actors, I mean, there are such great actors who are part of the cast, so they really gave it their all. Now, amongst all the actors, I loved Deepak Dobriyal. I mean, he was fantastic as Ashwatthama. Ashwathama. Tabu was good, reminded me of her performance in Drishyam, and Ajay Devgan was spectacular. I feel if the actors were given really good dialogues, the viewing would have been even more engaging. The next thing I really liked is the cinematography. In fact, there's a lot of moments, especially in the action sequences, where the camera work is really good. So the camera movements, the color grading, both work really well, especially in the action set pieces. It's just the VFX which just pulls that entire scene down. Now, addressing the elephant in the room, Bhola versus Kaiti. Now, when it comes to the storyline, it is exactly the same. There is absolutely no alteration. In fact, in Bhola, there are additional things which have been added. We actually get to see Bhola's backstory, which is not there in Kaiti. Now, I really did not mind this change because the main beats of the story of the events that transpired during the night where the police officers had to be taken for medical attention, that part has not been changed at all. But the major difference here is the vision of the director. Even though Kaiti also has a lot of action, massy scenes, the major difference that I found between both the movies is the presentation of the main character. If the director really wants to present the film in a very larger than life format, then the director needs to take care of the technical aspects first. When you know your movie is going to rely on VFX action, then a lot of budget needs to be poured in there. When you know the movie is going to be melodramatic, you need to have really good dialogues. Kaiti, even though has a lot of massy moments, still would feel much more realistic and grounded when you watch it. And it's okay to present the story in either way because that is the director's vision, but execution becomes of prime importance here. I really liked Ajay Devgan's previous directorial venture, which was Runway 34, and here also in terms of overall direction, I understand his vision. I understand where he wanted to take this film, on which level he wanted to take this film. I wish if there were certain aspects that could have been taken care of, especially the dialogues, it would have been so much better. So even if you've not watched the original one, this is still like a one-time watch, but I expected and I really wanted this to be something which is extraordinary. But still, I feel that if you're a very diehard Ajay Devgan fan, there are a lot of whistle-worthy moments, there are a lot of fan service moments that this movie gives you. So I think the diehard fans will enjoy this film. So if you're catching this film on the theatre, I would say do manage your expectations, because if you have extremely high expectations from the film, then somewhere you might get disappointed. But if you just walk into the theatre without thinking anything and just wanting to watch a normal movie, then I think this would be fine. And yes, there's going to be a continuation of this movie because that's where the movie ends. It has a good cliffhanger. So yes, those were my thoughts on the Hindi film Bhola, which stars Ajay Devgan, Tabu and many more, directed by Ajay Devgan. I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. And with that, I will end this video here and I'll see you soon on my next one. Bye.